Hey, good morning. This is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life bringing you the AA Word of the Day. And the word of the day for February 14th, 2025, Friday, is expectations versus demands. It's hard to believe we're mid February. Wow. And this is the quote: burn the idea into the consciousness of every man that he can get well regardless of anyone. The only condition is he trusts in a God and clean house. And that is from the book of Alcoholics Anonymous, the Big Blue Book, page 98. I know I look a wreck. I just took a shower, shampooed my hair. And here is the daily reflection commentary. Dealing with expectations is a frequent topic at meetings. It isn't wrong to expect progress of myself, good things from life, or decent treatment from others. Where I get into trouble is when my expectations become demands. I will fall short of what I wish to be, and situations will go in ways I do not like because people will let me down sometimes. The only question is, what am I going to do about it? Wallow in self-pity or anger? Retaliate and make a bad situation worse? Or will I trust God's power to bring blessing on the messes which I find myself in? Will I ask Him what I should be learning? Do I keep on doing the right thing? I know how to do no matter what. Do I take time to share my faith and blessings with others? Well, I say it many times. This all goes back to the beginning of things, that we have no control over people, places, and things. Everybody at some point will fail us. Here in Florida, we get something I don't like at all, and that's hurricanes. I have no control over that. I can't push a switch on my computer and have the hurricane turn around. It's a basic fact of life, and we fail others. We fail others. We fail God. There's only one thing we can trust in, and that is the power greater than ourselves, which is God. So, this expectation versus demand is important. We expect things, but we don't always get what we expect. And when we make demands, we're going by our will, and we should be following the will of God. And it says right here, when I get into trouble is when my expectations become demands. And I'm trying to think of the situations where that's happening. I can think when I was a kid and I wanted a raise, and I made a demand about the raise, saying I was such a good worker and everything. And I didn't last in that position very long. Because this says retaliate and make a bad situation worse. So I made it worse. I was out of a job. I did get another one rather quickly, and it wasn't my lifetime goal to stay in that job, but I thought I deserved more money and I demanded it. And I don't know the stress that bosses are under, and maybe they couldn't pay it, maybe they didn't want to pay it, maybe they didn't like me. Maybe it's, this being such a great employee was all in my mind. But will I trust God's power to bring blessings on the messes in which I find myself? Well, certainly my life was a mess. And when I turned it over to God, it has become a blessing. I'm relatively secure, as much as anyone can be in this world. I've been blessed with almost 75 years of life. I do have medical issues, but in sobriety, I'm able to do what I'm supposed to do. And I can remember back in the day when I had my appendix out. I was 28. It was the exact day my mother had hers out. Same age, same date. And waiting for a few trucks to go by. And the doctor gave me this list of stuff after the surgery, because in those days, you were in the hospital for a week if you had your appendix out. I wasn't to ride in the car, I wasn't to drink. I wasn't to lift any heavy things. Well, I lived alone. I had my own apartment. And the night that he told me that, I went to a bar, and I stayed all night in the bar drinking. Because I didn't have to go to work. I had some time off from work. I was getting unemployment, not a temporary disability. So I didn't care. I drank. What did that doctor know? And he's the one that told me I had a fatty liver from drinking. And I told him I didn't drink that much. So I was totally uncooperative with God's will. I just didn't want to hear it from anybody. And yeah, I set the stage for complications later on. And all this added on to being diabetic. No one was going to tell me about my body. Those doctors didn't know me. I was so full of it, really. And I like this. Do I keep on doing the right things? I like to express it as doing the next right thing. I try to do that all the time. And like this reading mentions, some people fail. I fail. I don't do the next right thing. And, I have my triggers and I mention them. I went to the store yesterday, and this lady, not a very tiny lady, parked her cart right in the middle of the aisle, and then held onto the cart with her arm, and she's looking at the items so that she blocked the whole. That is like an automatic trigger for me. Automatic. I go crazy. And some of them resist moving because they said to her, "Excuse me, can I get by?" I wanted to say, "Excuse me, can you move your fat butt so I can get by?" But I didn't say that. And I'm getting better, a little better every day. So I got to work on this. Always work on it. Not let people, places, and things drive me crazy. I mean, I was really, really bad before. I held resentments forever, and it would just make me drink more and more and more and more. And my resentments would have crazier outcomes the more I drank. So, I wish everybody a happy St. Valentine's Day, a sober St. Valentine's Day, and we will see you tomorrow. God bless.